All right, so we're going to be removing a Sram XD style cassette. This is a Sram 11-speed cassette connected to an XD driver, which is basically for a Shimano or anybody else, it would be called a free hub body. Be very similar to this right here. This is your regular free hub body, and once we remove this cassette, we'll be able to take a look at the XD driver. So very similar to what we're used to. I'm using a part tool. It's a part number FR-5. This is a GT specifically, so it has the blue inner, basically it's a support right here, and it'll fit a 12 inner diameter millimeter inside there. The other style would be an FRG, and this has this smaller pin for the different style hub that's going to accept your typical skewer style. So what this does, just offers support, so when we go to turn this, it's going to stay nice and flat. It's not going to want to get a little crooked and want to jump out of our spacing here. So it's got to fit perfectly right inside there. And again, we're going to be going counterclockwise for unloosening, so we're going lefty loosey, because as soon as we do that, the whole cassette wants to spin, so we have to stop the cassette from spinning. And we're going to use a chain whip to do that. And this particular chain whip, this is the part tool, this is an SR-2. Some of these heads have different curvatures. This one's, I say, curving over to the right. And usually I'll pick a spot somewhere in the middle. Don't want to go too narrow up here on the top. Sometimes these taller climbing gears get a little thin, and if this is real tight, we could bend something. So I'll aim for something in the middle. Try and get this guy started first, then wrap your chain around. And I might have to shift over a little bit. 1 or 2 tooth. And try and get a good bite in there. And basically we're going to make the letter V with our 2 tools. The second tool we'll be using is our crescent wrench. And what I mean by V, we're going to be making a V just like this. We don't want to be way over here. If we're too wide, it's going to put us in a real bad leverage because we have to squeeze this together. This guy's going to be moving this way. This one's going to be stationary. I'm going to hold, and this one I'm going to twist. So for best positioning, to get your best leverage, you can put yourself in a position like this. Make sure this crescent tool fits nice and tight. Make sure your cassette tool is in there nice and tight and deep all the way. So if you're on the table, you can go ahead and lie this flat if you want. I have it leaning right here. So you're going to hold this guy stationary. This one's going to move, bracing yourself like this, and you can go ahead and push just like that. The other way would be to just come in at this position right here and just come in and squeeze if you have that strength, just like that. Or we can put it on the floor. Putting this on the floor could give you better leverage because you can use your body weight to push down. So here I have the chain whip tool. Say this is 12 o'clock. This is probably your 1 or 11 o'clock. And then this guy, we're gonna be loosening. So gonna be going down that direction. So I'm going to put this over here. We're still making the letter V. So you could be over here. Anywhere in this position could be great. Anything to give you leverage. You don't want to be here because then you got to pull in an awkward position. So you want to pull down. So here you can just drop your body weight. And I can position the wheel, hold this guy firm, pushing down on this guy, and just bend your knees and drop your body weight. And we can loosen that guy right up. Now if you are doing this on the table, just be very careful of your rotor down here, that it doesn't make contact with the table and put a bend on it. So if I have something, a backing over here, I like to push this against the backing, come in, hold it with my body, and then I can go ahead and get to work. And now that we have it loose, I'm going to go ahead and spin the rest of this free. We're going counterclockwise. Now the funny thing that I ran into with these is there was a tight spot, loose spot, tight spot, loose spot as I'm turning it, so it was really giving you the feeling that you were doing something wrong. Possibly a chance of stripping something, you know, maybe going the wrong direction when you're feeling tension, loose, something like that. But it is correct, just continue on going counterclockwise, lefty loosey. I'm just going to continue to unscrew this all the way. And there we go. So this whole portion here, that's our XD driver. This is what would be replaced if you needed to attach an XD driver to run your Sram. Right here are the threads. We have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the amount of thickness of the threads. When we go to screw on our cassette, this is all plain, so we're Adding a little bit of lube there, a little bit of lube on the thread. So the notches here are going to match the notches right inside there. All this is one piece, looks like. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We got 11 gears, and they're all together, basically bonded. I guess they must machine that. There's our back side. So we have threads right inside there, and those thread onto your XD driver. And this area is greased up pretty nicely. Just ease installation and ease removal. So if one gear goes bad, you're pretty much replacing the whole thing, if it's your favorite gear.